Let's talk about silver prices. They are under pressure, and a lot of people contacting me trying to understand if we're actually going to head lower now or if it's time to buy. Well, I'm going to show you my view on it, and bear in mind I am short and I'm up a bit already on my position, so I think you already know the answer, but let me explain to you why then I am bearish. All right, so this is silver prices, and I already been bearish for quite some time, and I shorted it last week, and I have in the past been short gold. And the reason for selling gold and silver in general is because we're dealing with the Pfizer vaccine news, which triggered that massive sell-off here. So what's happening is people are, moving away from gold and then going into companies that were struggling because of COVID-19, because now it looks like people can project and see the end of COVID-19. And for example, in the UK, where I'm based, they're going to start to roll out vaccination of people, health staff and key workers, or health staff in particular, so nurses, doctors, and people that work closely with COVID-19 patients, and then they're gonna give it out to, and realistically, to older, elderly people and other people that have a very, very high risk of dying. So what's gonna happen? Well, the number of deaths is probably gonna drop sharply, and then the government's gonna be willing to open up the economies quicker. And that means less market stimulus and less support for gold and silver right now. Fast forward to January 5th, and if Joe Biden would win the 2 senator seats that we have in Georgia, then realistically he's going to be able to push through this infrastructure deal, which amounts to about 4.5% of GDP. But given the way GDP has dropped, it's probably even more than 4.5% now. And they're going to be able to push through some other things as well. And that could raise to inflation and market stimulus. Market stimulus can lead to inflation. So we could see dynamics change, but it's a long time now until January 5th, when we have that election. And from a technical point of view, it makes perfect sense to be a seller of silver. So we were stuck in a bit of a range here, and this is a 6-hour chart. And last week, silver prices did trade below 23.02, and 23 would have been the optimal level to sell, with a tight little stop loss at 23.55. That would have given us a risk-reward ratio of about 4.63. Now, why am I having 20.02 as my take profit level? Because the difference between like a range like this one, the difference between the minimum and the maximum becomes the target. Now, it's not the most clear pattern ever, but it's definitely a range, and realistically we're probably gonna head lower. So what's the next step here for silver prices? Well, I shorted already on Friday last week on the slide to the downside here, and I was hoping for a bit of a correction and then down, because I wanted to sell even more, but this is the hand we've been dealt with. And I think people, if we do move up a bit, so if we do move up to something like 22.37, I think people are going to sell again, and we can probably touch something like 21.50. And I think people will, in general, for now, because it's silver, it's like sort of a very volatile market, I will continue to be bearish below 22.99. But after a couple of days, and especially if we take out this low here, which is 21.83, I think stop loss orders, I think people are going to probably lower them to 22.81. Also, on our YouTube channel, which is the one you're looking at right now, I just uploaded a video on gold. I was short gold and projecting gold to trade lower as well. So I have coverage on that, and I have the latest levels to where I think people are going to be short selling. In both gold and silver, is way too early now from a short-term technical perspective to be buying, because we have unmet targets and the trends are heavily bearish, and the macro fundamental news is definitely going in the wrong direction for these two assets right now. All right, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, and don't forget to like it. It's super important that you like the videos, because that tells us that we're on the right track. And if we are on the right track, and we'll see that in the number of likes and views we get, then we'll obviously produce more content like this. That's me. Thanks so much for watching, and have a happy trading. Bye-bye.